Most people think the 2026 World Cup is important because the United States is hosting it, but that's not the real reason. The real reason is that this tournament could determine whether the United States becomes one of football's true power centers or whether it misses the biggest opportunity in its sporting history. And surprisingly, the most important battles won't be happening on the pitch. They'll be happening in airports, in immigration offices, on social media, and in youth football programs across the country. So today we're looking at 10 reasons why the 2026 World Cup is far more important for America than most people realize. America's biggest global test. Most major sporting events hosted by the United States are primarily American events. The Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the World Series. But the World Cup is different. It is arguably the most international sporting event on Earth. Millions of visitors from dozens of countries will travel across North America, and that creates a challenge that is rarely discussed. Can a country built largely around domestic travel successfully host millions of international football fans? Many World Cup discussions focus on the stadiums, but the real test may be transportation. Can fans easily move between cities? Can airports handle the demand? Can visitors navigate a country that is much larger than previous World Cup hosts? For the United States, the World Cup is not only a football tournament, it's a global stress test. The visa problem nobody talks about. Here's something most football fans never consider. The success of the World Cup could depend on paperwork. Every fan needs to enter the country. Every journalist needs access. Every content creator needs permission to work. And this creates a challenge unlike any previous tournament. In fact, some experts have warned that visa processing may become one of the biggest stories of the entire World Cup. Imagine this scenario. A fan spends thousands of dollars on flights and match tickets, but delays in visa processing prevent them from attending. Suddenly, the biggest football event on Earth becomes an immigration story. That's why some people believe the 2026 World Cup will be a showcase not only for American football ambitions, but also for how efficiently the country handles international visitors. The first creator economy World Cup. This next point is fascinating. The World Cup has existed since 1930, but 2026 may be remembered as the first true creator economy World Cup. Think about it. Thousands of YouTubers, TikTok creators, Instagram influencers, independent football journalists, fan channels. Many of them will travel specifically to create content, and in some cases that content could be considered commercial activity. That means immigration authorities may have to deal with something previous World Cups barely faced: an army of football creators. The tournament won't just be watched by fans, it will be documented in real time by millions of smartphones. The stadium paradox. Most World Cup hosts spend enormous amounts of money building new stadiums. Brazil did it, South Africa did it, Qatar did it. But the United States is taking a different approach. Most venues already exist. Many are NFL stadiums. At first that sounds normal, but it changes the entire conversation. Instead of asking whether stadiums will be ready, people are asking whether transportation, fan experience, logistics, and security will be ready. That makes 2026 a very unusual World Cup. The biggest challenges may happen outside the stadium walls. What happens after MLS? The 1994 World Cup helped create Major League Soccer. That legacy is well known, but almost nobody asks the next question: what comes after MLS? By 2026, soccer in America is no longer a niche sport. MLS exists. American players compete in Europe. Youth participation is massive. So the next challenge isn't creating a league. The next challenge is turning soccer into a permanent pillar of American sports culture. The World Cup could accelerate investment, media deals, sponsorships, academies, infrastructure. The tournament's biggest impact may not happen in 2026. It may happen in the decade that follows. The real target is children. Here's something surprising. The most important audience for the World Cup might not be today's fans. It might be children. For years, one criticism of American soccer has been the pay-to-play system. Many talented kids simply don't get opportunities. The World Cup provides a rare chance to inspire a new generation. If organizers can use the tournament to expand access to football, the long-term effects could be enormous. The biggest victory of 2026 might not be a trophy. It might be millions of children deciding to play football for the first time. The most multicultural World Cup ever? One reason the United States is uniquely positioned to host the World Cup is its diversity. Many American cities contain communities from nearly every FEO football nation on Earth. That means something extraordinary could happen instead of one dominant football culture hosting the event. Dozens of football cultures may coexist. Argentine fans, Mexican fans, Nigerian fans, Brazilian fans, Japanese fans, all celebrating together. The United States may become football's biggest meeting point, and that's something previous hosts couldn't replicate. The Golden Generation question. There's another reason the tournament matters: pressure. In 1994, expectations for the U.S. men's national team were relatively low. That's no longer true. Today's squad contains players competing in some of Europe's biggest leagues. Many observers call this the most talented generation in American football history, which creates one enormous question: can they deliver? For the first time, the United States won't simply be judged as a host, it will be judged as a football nation, and that changes everything. The way we watch football is changing. The 2026 World Cup may become the first tournament fully shaped by modern digital culture. Millions of fans will watch matches while simultaneously consuming TikToks, YouTube clips, live reactions, podcasts, streams. Football is no longer just a television experience, it's a multi-platform experience. The tournament could redefine how global sporting events are consumed, and America sits at the center of that transformation. The biggest risk. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Hosting the World Cup does not automatically create a legacy. Many countries have hosted incredible tournaments without transforming their football culture. That's why 2026 is so important. The opportunity is massive, but opportunities can be wasted. The United States has the infrastructure, the money, the audience, the talent, and the visibility. What happens next depends on how effectively those advantages are used. So when people say the 2026 World Cup is important because America is hosting it, they're only telling part of the story. This tournament is about much more than football. It's about whether the United States can become one of the sport's true global centers, whether a new generation of players is inspired, whether football can permanently change its place in American culture, and whether the biggest opportunity in American soccer history becomes a success story or a missed opportunity. What do you think? Will the 2026 World Cup transform soccer in the United States? Or will things look exactly the same after the tournament ends? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more football stories from around the world.